Hey, what's up, everybody? Greetings, respects, love, kindness, care, all of that. Welcome to Free Thought Friday, where I kind of share things that's on my mind and kind of, speak on what's coming up in future shows so that, you guys will know what's coming up. So right now, what's on my mind is the situation going on in the world with the crime and, everything with the National Guard going everywhere. I feel like we as people have to be very aware of what we're watching and what we're paying attention to and what matters. So when I'm looking at the stats, it says that crime is down dramatically in a bunch of major cities. Now, that does not mean that crime is acceptable. So any crime is unacceptable. We don't want anyone to be a victim. We don't want anyone to be criminalized. We don't want anyone to be hurt, harmed, or nothing. But the stats say that crime is down. D.C., Chicago, Memphis, different places where crime was very high. Okay, that's fine. We do know that the National Guard is in D.C. and they're considering to go to Chicago next. We always hear how the youth is the problem, the youth is the problem. Okay, so this is my thing. Beyond the youth, I believe conditions are the problem, and it's more to it than that. When you say these cities, listen to these cities I'm going to say. D.C., Chicago, Memphis, St. Louis, Detroit, Miami, L.A. I mean, I could go on and on. Those are predominantly African American cities. Those are cities that have poverty rates that are high, jobless rates that are high, broken families that are high. So, with that being said, I'm not comfortable with putting a Band-Aid on the problem or the issue that's been around since probably the late 70s and 80s. I think that we as people, as the public, regardless if you're a Republican, a Democrat, Independent, I'm not getting into that. We're dealing with facts, cause and effect, and reality. Reality say that these cities, Richmond, different places, if you want to go to Virginia, Norfolk, Portsmouth, these cities have a lack of jobs available. There's nothing for the youth to do. So when you're saying it's the youth, what do the youth have to do? There's no programs. There's no summer jobs for them. There's nothing to challenge them, to make them better. So I just think that by putting a Band-Aid on it, if you put the National Guard anywhere, crime is going to go down dramatically, of course. No one's going to go out in front of the military, the National Guard, and commit a crime. So when we hear things on the news like, well, crime in D.C. crime, like I said, has already went down 30% for violence in the last year. But when they say, well, it hasn't been this murder, this hasn't happened in the last 10 days, of course. It's flooded with National Guard and police. So no one's going to commit these crimes. Now, what do we do when these people leave? When the National Guard leaves, when the bells and the cameras and the whistles leave, we still have homelessness. We still have high jobless rates. We still have youth without anything to do after school that are facing pressures on social media at school. So what can we do long term, government, to fix these problems? What can we do long term to not put a Band-Aid on these things and make them look good for 30 days, 60 days, or whatever that is, But what can we do to create a system that is fair to those who are disenfranchised, disadvantaged, in poverty, no hope? What can we do about that? What can we do about that? What can we ask elected officials to do to say, okay, you're showing me these stats about crime, but why are people committing crimes? Why are people committing robberies? Yes, you have some people who are just going to mess up and mess up. That's fine. I'll give you that. But in these communities, predominantly of color, why are these young men and women committing crimes? Why are they stealing, breaking in stores? Why are these things happening? So, right now on my mind is really the youth, because I'm hearing a new push for a crime bill. And I can remember the 1994-95 crime bill with President Clinton, Truth in Sentencing, where the government rewarded states for locking up people. Check it out. This was the super predator era, where they said the teens were super predators and uncontrollable, and let's lock them up and let's pay the states to lock people up and make the streets safer. This really happened. And throughout the mid-90s into the 2000s, these states did what the government asked. They locked people up. They locked them up without reason or cause sometimes. They locked them up without evidence. But they were incentivized to do this. So I'm hearing this talk now about a new crime bill. And I'm concerned that these people that's locked up will be black and brown, minorities, coming from broken homes, no father, mother working 2 jobs, no guidance, no structure, no leadership. Who's responsible for that? Yeah, they say, well, each family got to take care of themselves and you got to make sure your kids, okay, but if someone's working 2 jobs to take care of their kids or they're not able to be home, they're going to school to better their lives, that teenager, that 12-year-old or whatever should have programs. They should have something at the school. What is the school doing? The school just open and it closes at 4? They can't have leadership academies, different things like that. So the youth is on my mind. We don't need a whole nother cycle of young men, 16, 17, 18, going to prison for 20, 30, 40 years.
1 minute remaining.
Well, I guess I gotta go now, but don't laugh at me. But yeah, I thank you all for supporting the show. And like I said, it's going to be a great youth takeover show. Be ready, be there. Much love to the organization. Much love to the advocates, the returning citizens. Let's go. 40 strong. This is free. Free Door Friday. Thank you. 2 laundromats, another liquor store, Pop's ice cream parlor, a little car place across the street. There's a lounge across the street, so it was like a thoroughfare. And I used to look around, and it was trash, littering, people outside drinking different stuff. And I can remember I would walk through D.C., or I would get the bus or the train, because I was very curious as a child, 19 years old. And, I can remember walking through D.C. a lot with my dad. He was in the streets. He wasn't a perfect person, but I can remember times where I would ride the subway by myself or the bus. And I can remember going through Northeast D.C. You got Montana, and I'm seeing all the, just the different, different looks and, just the aura of the city. I see poverty. I see issues. And I can remember it changing. The further I rode the bus, I seen it changing. I seen the dirt turn to grass. I seen the little skateboards turn to mountain bikes. I seen the schools turn from being boarded up windows to beautiful lawns, and I can remember why is it like this? And I was probably living, 15 minutes from the White House, tops, and I can remember seeing the difference. And I can remember getting off the bus, uptown in these neighborhoods that was so pretty and clean and safe. And I was like, well, how can it be that different? A 15-minute bus ride, a 30, 40-minute walk, and it's like two different worlds. And I would enjoy myself and sneak back home. You know, my mother would always say, stay close, don't go too far. If she left in my school anyway, because I was a curious child. So I would find my way back, and I would see it change back. The lawns would go from lawns to dust to dirt. The mountain bikes would go back to skateboards. All the pretty affluent homes would turn back to poverty, debilitation. And I used to just sit there and wonder, like, why is this like this? And it really used to bother me as a child. You know, so I'm wondering, children now that are faced with these type of aesthetics, where you're seeing your community look a certain way, and you go to school or something and you see a different community looking a better way. Other friends talking about going to the movies with their dad, or going to play soccer, having money for cleats. And we have to understand that things are for children in ways that you'll never imagine. Children don't really talk about what bothers them inside. They'll generalize, but children pay attention to everything. So I've decided to do a youth takeover. I have a young man who's going to be very prevalent on the next show this week. He's doing a youth takeover. I'm not going to unveil a lot. I will let this out. He came to me the other day. He was like, you free? He's just been in the pod. So he's a tall guy, like, so I'm nervous. Like, yeah, I'm free. What's going on? I'm playing, but, I don't bother nobody. But when he came to me, like, you free? I'm like, yeah, what's up, man? So he's like, you did it for the show. I'm like, yeah, what's up? And I'm just looking at him, so he's like, man, we need that, man. So I was like, what you mean? He said, man, what you doing and what everybody doing. I always say everybody, because it's not me. It's the newsletter people. It's everyone who works. It's the phone call people, the email people. So you believe me, no organization, and all the organizations in Virginia that are doing great, great work, and I shout them out. We will shout them out. There's a team of people that make these things happen. So I stopped him and let him know it's not just me. So he went on like, man, we needed that. And, man, I appreciate it. And, I'm from Norfolk, and I grew up. I don't want to give his story away, but it's tempting. But, the brother was just telling me how he grew up, and he'd been to the D home. That's the youth facility homes if you get in trouble. I mean, a lot of us know or you've heard of it. And his accomplishments and different things. So I'm not going to tell his story because I want him to share it with you. A wonderful brother. So I told him, I said, look, man, I want you to do the youth takeover show. And I want you to run the show. I'll be there for guidance and advice or whatever. And script your show. Tell me what you kind of want to talk about and write it down. He went right in and had it. I'm telling you. He's no joke. So he come back like 30 minutes later like, this, and this is the problem, and this is what we need to do. And I was blown away. Like, what we're not realizing is our youth, they're brilliant. They just need someone to pour into them. They're brilliant. I'm around here every day with them. They're just misguided. It could be the music. It could be the social media. It could be the conditions. But we can't throw them away with another crime bill. We cannot let another generation go from the school to prison pipeline. I gotta stop. Free Thought Friday is not supposed to be this long. It's like a teaser snippet of things coming up. But anyway, this young man is going to put on a beautiful show. Please keep supporting us. I'm so excited about what he's going to do. There's also a youth summit going on in Tidewater. We have the flyer It should be on the Facebook. The 40 Space Strong. The lion pops up. We're going to be promoting that. I believe it's in mid-September. I will have all that information. I promise you. Because I think it's beautiful what they're doing. They're having a summit for the youth first, where the youth can come out and gather and speak about things and unite. And then they're having something for youth advocates and those who are trying to help the youth. So we're going to have a lot of information on this summit coming up. It's a doctor. I got all the information. I feel so bad because I usually can just run things off. But I will give more information on that during the show. We will be posting it on our Facebook. Please get out and support these things if you can. And that's it. That's what we got. That's my Free Thought Friday. I hope y'all are ready to enjoy the show. Hey everybody, this is Free, founder of the 40 Strong. Please check out 40 Minutes with 40. It's a platform where I highlight interviews from inside different men who have changed their lives, rehabilitated themselves, and have great things going on. You can check out our last and first interview, which was with Demetrius Pettaway, who goes by Ball. This can be found at our website at the40strong.com. All you have to do is click the 40 Minutes with 40 tab at the top, or you can go to YouTube and put in 40 space minutes space with space 40. That's 40 on both sides. Or you can hit our Facebook at the THEFORTY Space Strong, and a lion pops up. Become a friend as well. Check out the interviews. They're real. They're from here. This is the things that we're going through and how we're going so hard to change and make a difference. Check out the interviews. 40 Minutes with 40. Thank you.